Okay, I want to start today with a statement that might make you want to just rip your headphones off.
Uh-oh.
No, seriously. It feels radical, maybe even offensive, and I have to admit, when I first read it, I got a little angry. It goes like this. Trauma does not exist.
Right.
And if you are unhappy right now, it's not because of your past, it's not your environment, it's because you chose to be unhappy.
It is quite the opening, isn't it? I mean, it feels like a slap in the face to pretty much everything we've been told about psychology for the last, what, 100 years?
Exactly. It sounds like the ultimate form of victim blaming. But this isn't from some random internet forum. This is the core premise of the book we are diving into today, The Courage to be Disliked by Ichiro Kishimi and Fumitake Koga.
And it's a huge global bestseller, but it's a strange book.
Yeah, the format is so different. It's written as a dialogue, like a literal argument,
Okay.
between this cynical youth and an eccentric philosopher.
And that format is so important. It's like a Socratic dialogue. The youth is basically us, the skeptic saying, yeah, but life is hard. And the philosopher is laying out the teachings of Alfred Adler.
Right, Alfred Adler. We all know Freud, we all know Jung. Adler's often called the unknown third giant of psychology.
Which is a shame, really, because while Freud was always looking backward at what broke us, Adler was all about looking forward. And that's our mission in this deep dive, to unpack why Adlerian psychology is called a psychology of courage.
And how it flips cause and effect completely on its head. Okay, let's not bury the lead. We have to tackle this trauma doesn't exist thing right now.
We have to.
In the book, the youth is furious about this. He brings up a friend who's a recluse. The guy can't leave his room. If he tries, he starts shaking. He gets heart palpitations. The youth says, obviously, this guy has some kind of trauma.
Sure. Bad parents, bullying, something. A clear cause for his condition.
And that's the Freudian view, right? The one we all kind of absorb by default.
We call it etiology, the study of causation. It says, I am the way I am now because of what happened to me then. It's very A causes B.
Which feels scientific. It feels true. If I was bullied, A, then I have social anxiety, B. But the philosopher says no.
The philosopher introduces Adler's opposing view. Teleology, that's the study of purpose. Adler argues we aren't driven by past causes, we are pulled forward by present goals.
Okay, so what does that mean for the recluse?
This is the shocking part. The Adlerian view is that he doesn't stay inside because he is anxious. He creates the anxiety so that he can stay inside.
Okay, hold on. We need to hit the brakes here. Are you saying he's doing it on purpose? He's manufacturing his own panic attacks? That sounds cruel.
It sounds incredibly harsh, doesn't it? And this is where the youth in the book just loses it on the philosopher. But the distinction is key. Adler isn't denying that bad things happened. He's not denying the pain. He's denying determinism.
Determinism, meaning the past locks you into a certain future.
Exactly. I mean, think about it. If bad parenting automatically caused social anxiety, then every single person with bad parents would be a recluse. But they aren't.
That's true. Some become the opposite.
Right. So the past gives you material, but it doesn't build the house. We choose the meaning we give to our experiences.
Okay, I can sort of wrap my head around that. But the recluse, creating anxiety, what's his goal?
The philosopher asks, what is the good he's trying to achieve? And the goal is, do not leave the room. Maybe he gets his parents' constant attention that way. Maybe he's terrified of being rejected or finding out he's just average.
So if he stays inside, he can't fail.
He can't fail. His anxiety becomes the perfect excuse. It's not, I'm scared to try. It's, I can't try because I'm sick. It protects his ego while achieving his goal of staying safe.
It's tough to swallow. It gives us a level of agency that's actually kind of scary. It means we're manipulating our own emotions.
It does. And if that feels a bit abstract, the book has a much more relatable example that just nails it. The coffee spill.
Oh, right. This one hit home for me. So the youth is in a cafe, a waiter spills coffee on his new jacket, and he just erupts, screaming. He says, I couldn't help it, the anger took over.
And the philosopher says, no, you didn't lose your temper, you used it.
I have to be honest, I struggle with this one. I mean, someone cuts you off in traffic, you see red. It feels biological. You're saying I chose that.
Adler would ask, what was your goal? In that split second, what did you want to achieve?
My goal.
No.
To make him back off, to show him he was wrong.
Right, you wanted to make him submit. And what's faster, a logical argument or a scream?
A scream.
Anger is a tool for instant intimidation. You fabricated that emotion to achieve your goal.
Wow. So anger is just a shortcut.
Basically, and the book has the perfect proof, the mother on the phone analogy. You've seen this. A mom is absolutely screaming at her child, full rage.
I've seen it. I've probably been it.
Okay, so she's screaming. Then the phone rings. She picks it up. It's the child's teacher. What happens?
Oh, she switches. Instantly. Her voice goes up an octave. Hello. Oh, yes. Lovely to hear from you.
Exactly. She's polite. She has a pleasant chat. She hangs up.
Yeah.
And then what?
Right back to screaming at the kid.
Immediately. Now, if anger was some uncontrollable eruption, like a volcano, she couldn't just cap it because the phone rang.
She couldn't just turn it on and off like a light switch.
She used it to control the child, put it away when it wasn't useful, and pulled it right back out again. Anger is a tool.
Okay. That's undeniable when you put it that way.
Oh.
We do that. So the big takeaway is that we aren't controlled by our emotions. We use them.
We use them to suit our purposes. And this leads right into the next huge idea in the book, the concept of lifestyle.
Right. Adler avoids the word personality. He says lifestyle. Why?
Because personality sounds fixed, like I'm just a pessimistic person. It's something you have. Adler says your lifestyle is your worldview. It's the lens through which you see yourself and the world. And a lens
Is something you can change. The book says we choose this lifestyle around age 10. But the kicker is, if I chose it, I can re-choose it. So why am I still unhappy?
Because, the philosopher says, you've judged that being unhappy is, on some level, a form of good for you.
How is being unhappy good for me? Who wants that?
It's not that you love the misery, it's that you love the familiarity. He uses this analogy of an old, rattling car. It's faulty, but you know it. You know exactly how to jiggle the key to make it start.
Okay, I get that. It's predictable.
A new car, a new lifestyle is terrifying. You don't know its quirks, you might crash. So it's easier and feels more secure to stick with the familiar misery than to risk the unknown.
So it's not a lack of ability, it's a lack of...
Courage. That's why the book is called The Courage to be Disliked. Unhappiness isn't a competence problem, it's a courage problem. It's easier to blame the past than to admit, I'm choosing this because I'm scared to change.
There's that brutal example of the aspiring novelist. This guy never finishes his work. He's always saying, I'm too busy, my job takes up all my time.
Ugh, the classic if only excuse.
The philosopher says he's not actually too busy. He's using busy as an excuse to live in the realm of potential. As long as he doesn't finish the book, he can tell himself, I could be great if only I had the time.
But if he finishes it and submits it,
He might get rejected. He might find out he's just mediocre. And that's terrifying. So he chooses the life lie of potential over the risk of action.
exactly, he manufactures the obstacle of busyness to protect his ego.
That is strong medicine. But let's shift gears. Adler then drops another bomb. All problems are interpersonal relationship problems.
All of them, without exception.
That just seems extreme. What about worrying about money or feeling like I'm too short? That feels internal.
Well, let's take the height thing. The philosopher in the book says he's short, just 61 inches, and he used to feel inferior about it. But think about this. If you were the only person in the entire universe, would you feel short?
No. I guess. There'd be no one to compare myself to.
Exactly. Loneliness isn't being alone, it's feeling excluded from a community. All our so-called internal problems only become problems in a social context.
And the philosopher reframes his height.
Right.
A friend tells him something.
Yeah, a friend says, you have a gift for making people feel at ease. Big guys can be intimidating. Suddenly, the objective fact, 61 inches, doesn't change, but the subjective value of it flips from a defect to a strength.
But wait, let's talk about the inferiority complex, because I think we all use that term, but maybe not correctly.
This is such a key distinction. A feeling of inferiority, Adler says, is actually healthy. It's that feeling of, I'm not good enough yet, that drives you to improve.
So that's just ambition.
It's the fuel for growth. But an inferiority complex is when you start using it as an excuse. It's the logic of, I'm not educated, so I can't succeed. You use your inferiority to stop trying.
And the flip side is the superiority complex.
Which is just the other side of the same coin. It's when you feel deeply inferior, but you fake it. You drop brand names, you boast. It's a mask.
But the part that really got me was bragging about misfortune.
Ah, yes. This is a fascinating twist.
It's when someone says, you just don't understand how hard my life has been. They use their suffering to make themselves special.
You can't understand my pain. By doing that, they make their suffering a weapon. It puts them in a position of untouchable superiority.
It seems like we do this because we view life as a competition.
That's the root of the poison. If you see life as a ladder, then everyone else is a rival. You can never relax.
And you can't be happy for other people because their success feels like your failure.
Exactly. But Adler says, What if life isn't a ladder? What if it's a flat plane?
A flat plane.
We're all walking forward on a vast flat plane. Some people are ahead, some are behind. It doesn't matter. You're not competing with them. You're just trying to move forward from where you were yesterday.
I like that image. And then there's that story about the teenager who's always fixing his hair in the mirror.
A great one. He's obsessed. His grandmother finally says to him, you're the only one who's worried about how you look.
Which is so true. We think everyone is watching us, but they're mostly worried about themselves.
And when you realize that and you stop competing, people stop being enemies and they become comrades. The world isn't a dangerous place anymore.
But what about when conflict does happen? The book talks about power struggles.
This is so useful. If someone insults you, they're inviting you into a power struggle. They want to fight. They want to prove they are right.
And if you get angry and fight back, you've already lost.
You've lost the interpersonal game. Because even if you win the argument, they just move to the next phase.
The revenge stage.
Yes. This explains so much about parent-child dynamics. The kid who can't win the argument starts acting out, not because they enjoy the bad behavior, but to hurt the parents. It's their only way to win.
So the move is just, don't get into the fight in the first place.
You drop the rope.
You're
You
right.
refuse to play. You admit a mistake. Walking away isn't defeat, it's choosing a better goal.
Okay, so this brings us to the practical side. Adler says we have to face 3 tasks of life.
Work, friendship, and love.
Work is the easiest one.
Easiest because it's based on results. The relationships can be functional. You don't have to love your colleagues.
Then friendship, harder.
Harder because it requires trust and initiation. It's about depth, not numbers.
And then the final boss, love.
Which includes romance and family. And he says romantic love is a red string. It can be cut, you can break up. But parent-child relationships, those are rigid chains.
Rigid chains. Sounds bleak.
It means you can't just walk away. You have a small pair of scissors, but you can't just sever it. You have to face it. But true love, he says, isn't about restriction.
What is it then?
It's feeling like you can be your natural self. No masks, no performing, just you.
And we avoid these tasks by using that life lie again, right?
Yeah.
Unless you decide to dislike someone so we don't have to do the work.
Yes. We decide we want to end the relationship, maybe out of fear, and then we go looking for flaws to justify our decision. Oh, I hate the way he chews. We lie to ourselves to avoid the courage it takes to connect.
It all comes back to courage.
It really does. It's a shift from a psychology of possession, what I have, my trauma, my looks, to a psychology of use. How do I use what I have right now?
That's powerful stuff. It completely removes your ability to blame anyone or anything else.
It forces you to take 100% responsibility. And that brings us to the final, really provocative thought of the book.
What's that?
Freedom. We all say we want freedom. But true Adlerian freedom is heavy.
Why heavy?
Because if the past doesn't determine you, and you are free to choose your life at any moment, then you have 0 excuses left. If you are unhappy, it is your choice. The only thing standing between you and a different life is the courage to be disliked for living it your way.
The courage to be disliked. Because if you truly live for yourself, you're going to disappoint someone. Your
Yeah.
parents, your friends.
And that disapproval is the price of freedom. The book says if you're not being disliked by someone, you're probably not living freely.
Wow. That is a lot to process. It's both empowering and terrifying.
As all truth should be.
Well, on that bombshell, that wraps up our deep dive into the courage to be disliked. I have a feeling I'm going to be thinking about that mother on the phone for weeks. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.